Greetings, friends and enemies. Welcome back to Art by Flan. Today we're going to be doing a bi-monthly sketchbook tour. So I have the two sketchbooks I have been currently using, and we'll start with the one you're familiar with first. Let me find out where we left off. I did quite a bit. I did some things in here before switching. I thought I'd only done one or two, but I'd done more. So this is the last piece we saw. It was my courier from Fallout New Vegas as a Vegas showgirl. I thought it would be cute, and I was right. Moving on, we have this piece of Banira. I scribbled this, and then I got my Kuretake Ganzai Tambi Starry colors, so I tried them out. I colored him in Copic, and then did his like gold accents and some stuff in his hair and sort of shiny. I don't know if you can really see that because the lighting in here isn't the best, but take my word for it. The highlights in his hair are shiny, and all the gold was painted over with why do I keep saying Fine-Tex? I'm used to saying Fine-Tex with the Kuretake Ganzai Tambi Starry colors set. So that's what that one was for. Moving on, because I was inspired by playing with that watercolor, I wanted to play with other watercolors. So I used I have a little Winsor & Newton travel palette that I tried to play around with, and I wasn't too happy with the results, so I kind of abandoned it halfway through. I'm not good with paints. I'm trying, but I'm not good with paints. Specifically watercolor. And I even tried to do colored pencil over it a bit, but it was just too rough and chalky, and I didn't care for the outcome, so I just abandoned this piece. I do kind of like the fade off from her dress, though. This effect's nice, but other than that, it's bad. I don't care for it. This is a sort of piece of a crack ship. These are actually Maya's two guys, if you're familiar with my OC Maya. This is her first love, Levi, and her eventual husband, Piero, who canonically hate each other. But me and my roommate were chatting about them and joking about it, them getting together and just pushing her out altogether. So that's what this is. It never was more than a sketch because it was just a goof and a gag and a chuckle. Here we have this fella. He doesn't have a name, but I drew him twice in this sketchbook. I'm probably gonna try and flesh him out some more, but he's just he was originally supposed to be oh, let me actually get that on the screen. Sorry about that. He was originally supposed to be like a sphinx, but he ended up as just more a cat than a sphinx. So that's he's a cute little Egyptian cat boy. So this is my character Nyx, and this was the first piece I've done with my Faber-Castell Polychromo colored pencils, and I like how this came out. I'm still pretty rusty with them, and I feel like they need more of a blending agent, like an external blending agent, to become smooth. I can get with my Prismacolors, because it's still kind of rough. You can't really tell, but I can. So I feel like they need more of a blending agent, but I'm working with them, and it's gonna take some time because I'm so used to my Prismacolors and how they work and layer, which are wax based, that I'm kind of not familiar with how oil based colored pencils work. So I'm working with those. This is just my character Nyx and some cute folly clothes to practice with those. So here we have, I think this is the last one in this sketchbook before I changed over. This is that little Egyptian cat boy again. I was trying to work out his colors, but he's a little dark. You probably can't tell, but in real life, this again was done with polychromos. But he's a little dark skinned in this. Not that he's too close to Banira's coloring, so I kind of wanted to avoid that with him. And he'll still obviously be Egyptian looking, but he just won't be as dark because I don't want him to sort of get confused with and meshed with Banira at first glance. So yeah, that's a look at what's been done in this sketchbook. This was just the Canton Mixed Media. I've not finished with it yet, obviously, but I will get back to it. What stopped me was this sketchbook. It's smaller, obviously, but this is a Delusions sketchbook. I can't remember the exact title. I'll have it written out on the video, but I've seen, she goes by Lizard Beth here on YouTube. I saw her customize the cover for hers. You can pop the cover off and just draw on it because it's just cardboard. But I saw her customize her cover, and I really love the look of the sketchbook, so I picked one up in a smaller size so that I could use it. Normally when you get it, It's just this brown cardboardy color, which is why she was customizing hers. But I just took some spooky Halloween washi tape and decorated mine. I like that I can decorate the cover and not have to like paint over anything like I would with my Canson mixed media. So yeah, I really liked the look of that sketchbook, so I wanted to try it out. So I picked it up and I started using this one instead of the Canson mixed media. There are some key differences, obviously the size and the make of the sketchbook, but the paper is also different. It's a smoother, this particular sketchbook is made for like inks and markers, so it's a bit smoother than the Canson mixed media, which has more of a grit to it. So moving on, so here you can see the inside of it. It's got this cool little pocket doohickey, and as you can also see, the book is sort of just stuck to the cover rather than the whole thing being connected. I'm trying to film this kind of quick because it looks like I'm losing my light. Hold on a minute. And I'm back. Sorry about that. I was using my natural light, but the sun sunk lower than it should have, so we're moving. I had to rearrange my lighting just a bit. So we're moving on to this Delusion sketchbook. There's nothing on the first page because, as you can see, it's really sort of difficult to open, so I just skipped that one. And here we have a colored pencil piece. Now, these pages are really smooth. There's not a lot of grit to the paper, so sometimes it's harder. This is Prismacolor, for the colored pencil to sort of hang on a little bit, but it's not too awful bad. This is just a sketch of one of my Skyrim characters. She's a dark elf who is obviously a member of the Dark Brotherhood and is sort of assassin and takes that role pretty seriously. So I really enjoyed playing the sneaky sort of dagger, bow and arrow dagger type with her, which is not usually what I do. On the next page we have an unfinished piece technically. I was just doing a cute girl in pinks and browns, but I just sort of either stopped liking it or just didn't like how the pinks turned out, or I just got burnt out or something and just never finished her. So I just kind of abandoned her. Really the only thing, she's almost done, to be honest. The only thing she has left is like her face, and then her boots and her scarf, and then she'd be done. Color-wise, I could go back and do toppings or whatever, but I just added a cute little circle background and some pinks. This is sort of make her fit in with the rest of the sketchbook. On the next page, we have my character Coco. I loved how this piece came out. I love how I did her spots and everything just came out real great. Not that bad. Real great. That's what I'm looking for. I almost went, yeah! But anyway, yeah, real great. A+ work there. Loving how this one came out. I don't like how after a while, you can't really see it, but, and I could try to bring it closer so it's fuzzy. The highlights in her eyes that are supposed to be pure white from the pen absorb or get smudged by that colored pencil and sort of lose that, so I have to go back and redo them when I get a chance. So here we have actually Loki. Thor 3 is coming out next week at the time of recording this video, and I'm so fucking excited. I'm sorry for my language, that's how excited I am. I love Thor, I love the franchise, and Loki is my absolute favorite. Do you remember in like 2012 when Avengers came out, everybody had that, you know, kind of Loki fangirl phase, but they eventually grew out of it? I didn't. I absolutely did not. I still have like a little collection of Loki figures, and I'm so excited for the new stuff coming out, and I love him. I love him a lot. So I had to draw him in his space martini. Moving on, this one was on my Instagram. This is just a little chibi of Banira, who is apparently allergic to shirts because I never seem to draw him with a shirt, but that's okay, he doesn't need one. I also gave him little doggy ears and a tail, and I just think it's super duper cute. So I started really getting into playing Animal Crossing again. I picked up a second copy so I can make a secondary town and play on that and not have to ruin my original town, which is great because I bought a used copy, and after a recent update you could sell the old town, so I have like 13 million bells, which is their currency, in the bank to do whatever with in my new town. I'm pretty excited, but to sort of celebrate that, I drew Isabelle because she's just too stinking cute. But the thing with me and Isabelle is I never like how I draw her. I try my hardest every single time, but I never capture her the way I want to capture her. Her face is always too human for me, so I just gotta keep trying, I guess. Like, she doesn't translate well into my style, I guess. Here we have a sketch page of just me planning out my Asexual Awareness Week piece, so you can sort of see I have the original pose sketched out on my computer, but I didn't know how I wanted to do her up. And so I decided on Space Ace with that theme, and so that's what I sort of did here. Just sort of sketched it out, got the details of her head, and then wrote down what colors I wanted. You can't really see, but it just says Ace colors. And here we have me testing out some skin tone markers I got. I got a set from Aqualuna Art here on YouTube. She gave me a set, and I also bought some Copic skin tones for my birthday. My mom got me a gift card to Dick Blick, and that's what I bought. I had those orders before Adri sent me mine. Sent me the one she did, or I wouldn't have ordered them. So now I have a bunch of skin tones, and I'm super happy about that, because the only other markers I have are Spectrum Noir, and those have garbage skin tones. They're just terrible. So here we actually have another Loki, believe it or not. I really love, if you're in that particular fandom, the Thor fandom at all, you've kind of seen the fandom's version of Frost Giant Loki kind of take on a life of its own, and I really, really love what the fandom has done with him in that respect. And so this is just sort of a doodle of that, of him as, like, if he had just been full-fledged Frost Giant with the horns and everything. And I just, like I said, it's kind of hard to explain if you're not in the fandom. It's really, like I said, he's taken on a life of his own in sort of a different aspect, way away from like movie canon or comic canon. And it's really just a fanon appearance, and I love it a lot. And so if you go back onto my DeviantArt, maybe I'm not taking it out. I had a lot from like 2012 and 2013 when, you know, I first got into it and I first fell in love with the Thor franchise as a whole and Loki in general. And another great thing is, back at that time, I was really in this like art slump, and I'll talk about it when I get to those sketchbooks for Golden Oldies. But I didn't want to draw anything. And least of all, when I wanted to draw men, and I couldn't draw men, and it was really frustrating because I wanted to do, you know, Loki fan art. That's what I wanted to do with my time, but I couldn't. I was just, you know, I had this like whole blockade. But now that I moved past that and I'm in a place in my life where I can, I'm so excited to draw him a bunch more, because I actually can, and I'm actually happy with how he looks, and it's just, I'm just a happy camper, let me tell you. More Animal Crossing fan art. This is what the mayor of my secondary town looks like. Sort of. It's not exact because I don't have like a burgundy, more purplish red, but I did the best I could with the colors that I have. And I think it's pretty cute. Like I said, I was just practicing and using brush pen. I think, the most of these have been actually in brush pen. Yeah, this was the last one not in brush pen. Everything has been brush pen and marker for the last week or two, just trying to get a feel for them again. Like I said, I got a whole bunch of new skin tone markers, so I wanted to play with those. And that's what we see me doing here. So this is just my little mare and how she currently looks. So this is my courier from Fallout New Vegas. I drew this on Fallout Day, which is October 23rd, and in Fallout lore in the Games, October 23rd, 2077 was when the world ended. There was the Great War, all the nukes launched, that's when the world ended, and that set the catalyst for the game in motion. If you see a shadow moving, it's me talking with my hands, but so every October 23rd, all fans celebrate Fallout Day, and to do that, I drew like I said, my courier for my favorite Fallout game, which was Fallout New Vegas, and I'm really, really happy with how this came out. Like, you guys don't even know. Like, I was so happy to have all those skin tone markers so I could finally do her some justice in marker. And I just love the way the greens blended and her hair blended, which I had to really fight for because the reds with Spectrum Noir are garbage as well. That's my next Copic goal, is to get some good Copic reds. Or even Prismacolor red. I don't care. Reds. Red markers that are good. But I'm really, really happy with how this came out. And I'm sorry if you hear dogs barking. Moving on, we have some OCs. These are my OCs, Orpheus and his daughter, Nyx. I just sort of wanted to draw them. I haven't in a long while, and I just wanted to sort of nail down how they kind of look in canon, because it's sort of been up in the air for a while. But yeah, so this is what they look like. Orpheus is actually Levi's twin brother. As you can see, they're very different. They are less like twins and more like, they're not identical, they're fraternal twins. Whereas Orpheus's sons are identical. So, but yeah, that's why Orpheus and Levi don't exactly look alike. Orpheus is younger by a few minutes, and this is his daughter, Nyx. Nyx had kind of a tumultuous birth. Orpheus ended up knocking up a girl he was into who wasn't into him, and he kind of coerced her into keeping Nyx, which sort of caused their relationship to start on a very bad note, and it sort of caused Nyx to have a sour relationship with her mother. But it all works out in the end, obviously, because I can't stand a sad So yeah, that's just who they are. And here we have the entrance to my flunk. And it's sort of a drawing flunk lately. So this is just a picture of Maya, probably when she's older. And I tried to make her sort of look how she would when she was sicker, because eventually Maya does get sick and die in like her 30s, and so this is probably sort of around that time. And I definitely know I wanted her to have this sick and dying anime mom hair, so that's what I wanted to draw, just her with that. And I wasn't going to color it, that's why her eyes are black and not the usual color, but I ended up coloring it because I just wanted to use my markers a bunch more. And this is the last piece in the sketchbook. Like I said, I've been trying to get through this art funk, and I did that, and I'm trying to power through it with the help of Maya, obviously. This is not a canonical appearance for her. We did a Sailor Moon AU briefly, and honestly, it was just an excuse for me to draw Maya with super long hair and up in Sailor Moon's bun, so that's sort of what you see here. I focused on her skin, but I didn't shade her hair, but like I said before a million times, shading with the reds I have is a pain in the butt, and I didn't want to do it with all this hair, you know, a second time that day. So yeah, there's nothing really special here, just sort of that naked, flowy power with lots of long hair aesthetic that Sailor Moon tends to have. But that's a look at my current sketchbooks. If you like what you see, don't forget to click that like button. You can subscribe, and hey, I actually started up a Patreon. I'll make a video about that coming soon, but it's linked down in the description if you want to check that out. There's only one tier, it's $1 a month, and you get access to all sorts of goodies whether you donate or not, but I'd really appreciate it. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!